color, you're going to get a job if you do well because, you know, it is what it is. But like, I've had people like, oh, I never thought your name was Jennifer. Well, what did you think it
What
was
did you
gonna
think
be?
it was? Like, let me know.
Yeah.
Run down the
And
list.
then
Like,
you should see their face like, oh, I thought you were just gonna let that slide. No. Tell me. Like, what did you think my name was gonna be? Did you think it was gonna end in an Isha? Did you think it was gonna end in some type of Tay? Or like, what did you think it was
have an
gonna be?
apostrophe.
Oh no, I just right. Like, you thought I was gonna be named after a liquor or a car. Like what? And then like their
I wish
face is
my
like,
name was like a liquor in a car.
like what? What would you think? What would you want your name? Now I'm
Couldn't
curious.
afford
We
a car,
pause.
so she
One
named her
second.
daughter
Okay.
Tangeray
No.
Lexus. Tangeray Lexus.
Tangeray
Tangeray Lexus. Call me that from now on, y'all.
Infinity Alizé. Come on, she gotta have Tangeray Lexus, Infinity Alizé. We're gonna have alter egos when we get out of here. We're gonna have to be our ego.
I'm not taking this.
Don't be y'all.
Come on, Shanice.
What
What? We waiting
am I
on your
supposed to
name.
be?
A liquor in the car. I switched it up. I was car then liquor.
Yeah, she did.
I don't even know. I don't have anything cute.
Low key, they sound like stripper names too, though.
Yeah.
They do.
So if we get furloughed, we got backup.
No, I ain't.
The way these snacks been set up, they got to turn the lights down real low.
No, I'm just gonna follow behind Beyonce. I'm not gonna be a stripper. I'm just gonna give me
OnlyFans.
No face, no trace.
I'm with you on that. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
But to go back, also, like, I've had coworkers where they'll ask you, well, what do you like? How do y'all, or what do you like? The y'all and you people, and like, I'm just like, can you just say, like, just be real 100%? Just say Black people, or just say Africans. Just say, I'd rather that. Don't replace me with a y'all, because I'm going to give you the stuck face. Like, you remember, what's that movie, Tropic Thunder? What do you mean, you people? Like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? And it's always, you're so curious. Well, you change your hair, like, all the time. Like, do all y'all do that? Or is it just you? First of all, patty mayonnaise. Like, you can't, like, you don't understand it because you don't have it. But it's like, you could just ask me personally, because I'm only going to speak for myself. I'm not the whole, like, United Negro congregation. I'm not speaking for all of y'all, all of my people. I'm speaking for myself, Jennifer. And yes, sometimes I feel like having my hair straight. Sometimes I feel like having it curly. It's in a ponytail. It's a different color. Why? Because it's mine. But I think I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I don't want to say them. I try to give white people the benefit of the doubt, because we are so colorful. We come in different shades. We have different hair textures. We have different personalities, different voices. We have different. We're the only people of color. And I even hate that. But we're the only group of people that come in so many shades. And you never know what you're going to get. And I try to give them the benefit of doubt. But it gets tiring. Like you said, I'm tired of towing the line and giving you the benefit of doubt and letting you just say whatever. Like, sometimes it's just like, I don't even feel like having a conversation. Like, I don't feel like having to explain to you. Remember what I said the first time, and let me that.
And you can ask about my hair as long as you don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Oh, they love.
You know what? I think, there's a lot of patience that goes into having those conversations, because not only have we had them several times, and it's like, where do y'all be at that you aren't exposed to Black people? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why at this age, we're in our 30s. So what have you been doing that you don't understand? I have no questions for you about your appearance. None whatsoever. Like, I see what you look like. I seen what y'all look like. I get it. That's it. That's all that comes with it. I don't have no question. I'm not be like, have you ever thought maybe? No, I don't give a shit, girl. Do this. Send me the damn spreadsheet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we here for? So I don't understand why it's the subject of conversation. Like, I'm just in work. Like, we're here to do the things. When it comes to, I think I asked, like, being a parent. So when it comes to like coaches and teachers and things like that, both of my children, they've met. I mean, I think all of our children at this point, my children have mastered the code switching. And sometimes it breaks my heart to see them, because it feels to me, on being their parent, it looks like they are suffocating themselves. Like, they're like pulling in. But then I can remember my conversation that I've already put in their head, like, stand up straight.
Mm-hmm.
say things the right way, enunciate. It's like articulate. I feel guilty though.
Mm-hmm.
I feel guilty as shit. But then, well, what's the alternative? Like you can't be talking like that in front of company because that ain't our
Right.
people. So like,
So
again, more stress,
I think for the
more
kids,
stress.
I think that for them, they're all very intuitive. So maybe it's not
Hmm.
as stressful as we think it is. But even for as much as we talk to them about like making sure they say the right things, I think that we let them express their blackness in other ways. So like with my oldest, he's growing out his hair. Boy, you can grow out your hair as long as you want to. It can be
As
as
long as you
curly
want.
as you
Yep.
want, and no one's going to say anything to you. So I think that there are other ways that they get to express it. And like even with my daughter, you want to dye your hair purple? Dye purple. This is the only time to me in life that you're going to be able to express yourself in your own authentic way without having to answer really to anyone. And I
Exactly.
wish that even as a child, maybe I was able to do a little bit more of that because my parents, like, they let me express myself verbally, but that was really it. So they're kind of like they're conservative. They're not even kind of. They are definitely conservative. So, but it's so funny because when I tell my mom I'm dyeing my daughter's hair purple, she's all for it. Like, let me send me pictures. Oh, where was that same
Good
energy?
for you.
She's a grandparent. She's a
I didn't get
grandparent.
that energy.
No, because Taylor had a pink streak for the first day. No, because my daughter had a pink streak for the first day of school this school year, and my mother was like, "Why?" So again, we have different mothers, but like, yay for her championing it on. Like, I don't. Where was the difference? Like, but as you were growing up, was that okay?
I was able to dye my hair once I got to middle school, but that was like streaks
Okay.
of like blonde streaks because that was the
Uh-huh.
thing.
That's the
So,
thing then.
I
Yeah.
mean, they let me do it in middle school. Would they have let me do it at 8 or 9? Probably not. But
No.
also,
Yeah.
I think my dad is the driving force behind that because he thinks everything is so grown. But he doesn't say anything about her hair either. He told her it looked nice. Oh, okay. You didn't tell me that.
She's a grandparent. That's very different.
But I think that
It's very,
it's
very different.
important to teach them like these are the things that you need to do to be successful, and these are what successful people look like. But you got to turn it on and off. And try to equate that to them like there's a certain way that I expect you to speak in the house, period, just around me. There's another way that you might speak with your friends when I'm not there. I can't control what you say. I can tell you to say the right things, but you might not. You might stand up in the middle of the classroom and say these nuts. And then your teacher's calling me on the phone and I'm embarrassed. Those are the things that get to me because then I'm like, your teacher's going to be looking at me like I'm the young black mom not teaching you anything. What
Yes.
is wrong
That's
with
the part.
you? No, it was
Mhm.
funny, but no, don't ever say that again because you lost your mind. So I try to let them express it as much as they can, but just tell them like time and place. Time and place.
Yeah. Is
Yeah, and
there a way? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jennifer.
oh no, I'm sorry. No, I'm just saying. Also, I think when we're talking about our parents, how they were when we growing up and how we are now, I think when we grew up with our parents thinking that they had to teach us through lack. Like they didn't grow up with certain things, so we didn't have to grow up with certain things, and we had to earn it. I myself have decided, like growing up, like raising my daughter, like yes, you need to earn things, but if I have it and I can give it to you so you can have the best life possible, I'm going to give it to you. So I think we're raising our kids, and I want to speak for all of us, but I think we're pretty along similar in some things. Like we're raising our kids with abundance. Like I'm able to provide this for you, so you're going to have it. I'm going to teach you the value behind it, but I'm not going to let you and like watch you see you struggle. Like I was talking to my daughter's father, I was like, yeah, when she goes to school and she gets her first apartment, like, you know what, like we can help her out and help her like furnish and stuff like that. Like I don't see
Right.
anything wrong with it. My parents, they've been like, first of all, my parents didn't even know I was moving out. Because I was like, I didn't feel like hearing their mouth. Like they would be like, I just showed up with boxes, like, all right, yeah, I got an apartment, I'm out. Because I knew the type of household I was leaving, that they were very strict also. So I think that we definitely have a difference in generations and mindsets, but I think that also shapes them. But I think also there's some things that we just have to teach our kids no matter what because they are black. And it's unfortunate because like how you say code switching, like when Layla's out and about, said her name too. My daughter's out and about, like she's, I let her be freely. But if we're going into the store, I'm like, don't put your hands in your pocket.
Yes.
Don't reach for
Oh my
anything,
goodness. Or take your
And,
hoodie off.
take your
Yep.
hoodie off. And, when you're checking out, say thank you, ma'am, and yes, ma'am. I don't even let you, I only make you say yes, ma'am, no, sir, and stuff like that. But when you're speaking to certain people in certain settings, you have to speak a certain way and you have to act a certain way. She was just like, why? And I had to be so honest, and it sucked because I just saw like her eyes water up. She was like, but not all Black people steal. It's just certain bad ones. Like, why do I have to act a certain way? And I'm just like, unfortunately, white people group us all the same. Just because one person did it, they think all people do it. And unfortunately, that was probably their generation before them that taught them that. And we have to break the chains. But until then, we have to act a certain way to avoid certain situations.
But that's what it goes back to, just the lack of trying. The children can understand that concept so simply. You can understand that not all people are the same. What y'all doing? What have y'all been doing?
And let's be honest, it isn't across the board because there are some folks who don't look like us. They get it, and will, we speak about my group and how I have a Karen and a Becky in my group, and those are their actual names. And Becky is a lot more soft, and I don't know what her upbringing is. I think, yeah, I do. She grew up more so inner city, and perhaps that exposure comes to that exposure and knowing like shit happens, but the story that I see on the news, that's not the narrative for every single Black person. It is like you said, it's a lack of trying to understand. Like, I got too much shit on my plate. I don't have to worry about you niggas. Like, all y'all do is just suck up all our good air. Like, I don't know how white people do. I don't know.
I would love, like, like the movie Inside Out. Like, I would love to be in the person of like the mind of a white person just for one day.
No.
Just one day.
I know.
I really. I need to understand because
a half a day, not a whole day.
24
whole hours.
I'll take a whole day because I just really need to understand what goes in their mind when they are just walking around and they just see, like, they clutch their purses, or they like just like that kind of stuff. Like, I
be clutching my purse.
I was just getting ready to say that. So the funny thing is,
because y'all be on all types of drugs and stuff. Like, nah, not trusting you, Cody. Get the hell out of here.
But
I'm sorry.
But when we talked, I think we talked about it it might have been last episode, when I said the same way that y'all feel scared, I feel scared when I see a bunch of motorcyclists with all their tattoos and their big beards. I automatically assume you're racist, and maybe that's wrong, right? But until otherwise, I'm gonna tread lightly because I just don't know. So I feel like, again, we all have these prejudices, but the way in which we let them show is very different. We have prejudice, but we don't act on it. We keep it in the back of
it's inherent bias.
We keep it in the back of our mind, and we're not going to go ahead and be triggered by it or act on it or call the cops because nothing has happened yet. Now, if you give me an inclination that something is about to pop off, that's a different story. I gotta get up out of here.
I'm calling all the people. I'm calling my cousins and the cops. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not sitting here waiting on you to kill me. Like, I'm calling my cousins and the cops.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody go get here and handle this. Like, oh my gosh, it's tough. And I know that sometimes we veer off because these are very, very personal experiences, and we experience it in all parts of our lives. Just being regular, trying to go to the grocery store, being at work, trying to provide for our families, and then trying to just parent our children. So there's always the opportunity for us to be challenged. But I try to be more, solution based. So that's why I was asking, like, your experience and how you navigate it. Is there like a statement or some type of conversation that we can have within our community? Like, yeah, we want our kids to speak well, yes, but it doesn't have to be under the guise of, so, the white folks can get you. Speak well so you can be understood among all your peers, no matter what they look like. But speaking well doesn't even need to come into the conversation if they're constantly reading well, because it's just random words. Like, that's something that I've noticed with mine. We'll just be having our little conversations and they'll throw out words, and I'm like,
where'd you get that from?
How did you learn that? Yeah. And you have to be like, okay, I'm doing something right here.
Mm-hmm.
So parenting well